lovely people, Nina here, and happy Banned Book Week. This week is officially Banned Book Week. I am going to encourage you all to read and educate yourselves on banned books because according to PEN America, there are now over 10,000 banned books across schools, which is an insane number, and it does nothing but harm education and hurt learning and should not be a thing. We should be encouraging people to read, not discouraging just because you're afraid of the content. I thought there's a really great quote from Oscar Wilde, and I figured I'd read it to you because I love it. He says, "The books that the world calls immoral are the books that show the world its own shame," which is so true. A lot of the books that are banned for things like LGBTQ+, or having people of color that they don't want to educate on, or maybe it's like language that they don't find deeming, or like violence that they don't seem fit, or it's so frustrating. So according to the ALA, the most banned books right now are Genderqueer, All the Boys Aren't Blue, This Book is Gay, The Perks of Being a Wallflower, which is one of my favorite books, Flamer, The Bluest Eye, Me, Earl and the Dying Girl, also one of my favorites, Tricks, Let's Talk About It, and Sold. So those are the top like 10 most banned books, and it's just disheartening. So this week for my video I thought I would talk about what banned book I'm reading and what other, like, I have kind of a little book haul from the summer, and so I figured I would show you different books that I've gotten and the banned book that I'm going to be reading this week. So the banned book that I'm reading is Water for Elephants, and I got this summer because I had been talking about it for a while and my mom owned it, and then I was like, I don't think I'll read it, so she put it in a little library, and then like a year passed and I was like, I want to read it because it's now a Broadway musical and I love the music from it. And it's about a guy that basically is a veterinarian and drops out of school because of tragedy, and then hops on a train and joins a circus and helps out with the animals and meets a woman there and her husband. And this one's banned because of, I think it's language and violence, which is insane, but I really want to read it. So that is the book I'm going to be reading for Banned Book Week. I'm excited. I got this in Massachusetts and it's a used book, so there's like a teeny bit of book mold on it, but I put it in the freezer and I don't have it near my other books, so I think it'll be okay. But that's this one, Water for Elephants. This is also a movie with Robert Pattinson, which I wanted to see, so maybe I'll watch that too. We'll see. That one. The next banned book that I have, and my new book of the summer, I think I got this summer, or maybe last spring. It's been a minute. But it's George Orwell's 1984. My family always jokes that I read books that have like causes, whether it's like worldly issues or like the environment or what have ya. And after the other day, I read The End of the Night, which is about losing the night sky. And I talked about in my last video, I was like, I'm gonna read 1984 next, and they're like, you need to read a book that's a little bit lighter. So I ended up reading Check and Mate. But I have 1984. And this is a graphic novel, so look how cool this is. This is like pretty new. And I got it at just like a local bookstore. Ah, it's so cool. I've never read 1984, but I thought the graphic novel would be really fun and really cool to read. So that's this. It is up there with one of the most banned books because of content, which is frustrating. It's so frustrating because I don't understand why we're limiting people's imaginations and knowledge and discouraging them from reading. We should be encouraging. So 1984 by George Orwell, the graphic novel. I'm excited. The next one is another graphic novel, which is Anne of Green Gables. I loved this book when I was younger, and it's just so cute. And I recently watched Anne with an E, and I absolutely loved it. And they just came out, this one, I have to look at the publication date, I didn't even think. This is relatively new too. Well, I'll have to look a little bit more. But I also got this at a local bookstore, and it's the graphic novel, like I said, and it's really cool. The illustrations are really cool. It's the story of Anne of Green Gables, but graphic novel version. It's so cute, and I love this story so much. And of course it's a banned book, because why not? So that one. And then the next one I got, we'll do this one first. It's called The Perfect Storm, which is about a shipwreck. I also got this in Massachusetts, and I wanted like a local one, and my mom had read this and said it was really good. And so it's about a group of like sailors, fishermen, boat people out at sea, and a storm that hits in like the story of it, and it's based on a true story, which is really cool. So again, a book about nature and the environment and storms and stuff, so of course I'm gonna love it. Yeah, that's this one. And then the last one I have is The Peanuts, and it's Schultz and the Peanuts, and it's about, I'm assuming, Charles Schultz's life. Yes, it is. So that's this one. I bought this at a used bookstore as well in Massachusetts, and I'm really excited to read it. It's, again, a long one, so I'm going to have to dedicate the time to this, but I love the Peanuts, and the comics are so cute, and I'm a huge Snoopy person, so I'm excited to read this and read about his life. So that's this one. And that is it for my little banned book / book haul. It's crazy that there's over 10,000 banned books. That's meaning that, like, probably, like, I would say 90% of my bookshelf is probably on the banned book list, which is insane. We should be encouraging, not discouraging. I don't understand. But that being said, on the 28th is officially Let Freedom Read Day, which is the ALA encouraging people to educate themselves on banned books and doing things like making sure you're registered to vote, looking at who's on your ballot for things like school board, which is really important because they decide on banned books, just looking at your election and seeing who you need to vote in to make sure that we don't keep banning books in schools and letting children and people read what they want to read. So that is the 28th. Like I said, I'm going to be reading Water for Elephants to celebrate Banned Book Week, and I encourage you to either read a banned book or purchase a banned book from a library, or not from a library, check it out from a library, purchase it from a local bookstore, visit a little library, and just talk to people too about banned books. And I think it's really, really important. So that is it for this week's video. I love you all. I will give you an update when I'm finished with this, hopefully this week. That's the goal. So yeah, I love you all, and I will see you next week with a brand new video. Bye!